Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and mentalmotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on your chief aim in life. Now, this is all being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program. You can learn more about that if you visit the link below. But your definite, your chief, your primary purpose, your aim in life is what I'm talking to you about today. What is your aim in life? Well, it is the thing that you are going for. It's the thing that you are headed for. Now, you might be one of those people who don't have a chief aim in life. You might be one of those people who don't feel like you don't have a purpose in life. As I've always said, just because you don't know your life's purpose doesn't mean your life is without purpose. You have a tremendous function. You have a tremendous purpose in the lives of so many people. You might say to me, well, CJ, I just don't have a lot of friends. People don't want to spend a lot of time with me. I'm alone all the time. What value do I have to somebody else? Well, that's your choice. Okay, that is your choice. If you choose to keep away from people, if you choose to separate yourself, if you choose to be alone, then you have to live with the end results of those actions. People are not going to find value for you. And you might say, well, I don't care. Well, good. Now, I don't know why you might be watching this video. But when it comes to finding your chief aim in life, I'm assuming that I'm talking to someone who does have a desire to do something in life. They do have an aim. They do have something that they want to go for in life, and kind of working that out. What is the best decision that they need to make in terms of the direction of their life? What's the best way they need to go about, finding out what to focus on in their life? Either way, your life should have a chief aim to it. There should be an end or a objective in mind. And there's one very important reason for that. Because life is going to throw so much at you. Not just bad things. There are interesting things. There are things that divert our attention. There are things that tempt us. There are things that can occupy us that have no relation to what our chief aim in life is. And I see this a lot in a lot of people. They express a desire to do something. They want to have a chief aim in life. They want to be successful in what they do, but they're not putting in the effort to do it. And what I mean by that is not just work, but in avoiding those things that tend to clutter their minds, that clutter their hearts, that get in the way of the pipeline, clog it. And they're not able to get to the place that they need to get to simply because there's way too much on their plate, or what is on their plate really doesn't have a whole lot to do with what their definite chief aim in life is. Now, it was one of the originators of contemporary positive thinking, Napoleon Hill, who wrote in his book, Think and Grow Rich, that there is a definite chief aim in life that you and I should have. And I agree with that. I think there needs to be an aim. I'm going to break it down a little bit differently. And one of the examples that I like to use is the object of a thesis. Now, don't get put off by the word. You may not use a word like that all the time. But the word thesis. Now, I define thesis as that thing which you are trying to establish. The thing that you're trying to establish is your thesis. Now, in academia, if you are writing a paper, if you're writing a dissertation or a master's thesis, then the first thing that you have to do in any sizable writing project like that is you have to submit to your professor a thesis statement. What is a thesis statement? A thesis statement is what your objective is with the paper that you're about to write. And you have to be very specific about it. In fact, you may spend weeks just trying to revise your thesis statement. For example, you can't come to your professor and say, I want to write about love. Well, that's a very broad topic, and the resources that you would have to consult to research would be endless. So you have to be a lot more specific. You have to say, well, by the time you finally craft your thesis statement, it's going to be something like, I intend to write about the idea of love in Victorian literature in England from 1837 to 1845. It will have to be that specific. Why? Because that's what limits the resources that you're going to have to consult. And even in something as limited as that, thesis statement, there is still tons and tons of resources that someone would have to research. So that's in academia. But the same principle applies to life. You know, if you know what your thesis statement is, if you know what your life is about, then you're better able to regulate what you spend your time with, who you spend your time with. Now, I have to say that, yes, there needs to be balance here because we can't always be about work. We do need to have our time off. We do need to play. We do need to do a lot of that stuff. But I think that's really not most of our problem. For most of us, we allow our life to be cluttered with too much stuff that has nothing to do with our chief aim in life or our life's thesis. So what is your life's thesis statement? What is the thing that you want to see established? What is the thing that you want to put into place? What is the thing that you want to achieve, the impact that you want to make with your life? Well, keep in mind that there's tons of stuff and there is tons of people that want to occupy your mind space, suck up your emotional energy, eat up all of your time, and consume your money and resources. So keep that in mind, because having a thesis statement or knowing your definite chief aim in life is how you're going to guard yourself against being too consumed by those who want to consume you. Can you dig that? I hope you can. Well, that's what we're talking about all this week, in finding that definite chief aim in life and getting that direction and moving forward in a way that is profitable for you, and that at the end of it, man, you're going to have what it is that you want. You've got to be more focused. You've got to be more determined and single-minded on what it is that you want out of life, and that begins with crafting some sort of chief aim or thesis statement for your life. As always, I show the first episode of each week's 5-message series right here on the interwebs. If you would like to see the rest of this series, you'll need to join my Life Domination Coaching Group. Very simple, very easy to do. It is a private Facebook group, which I administrate, so we get a chance to work together. The only other people in the group are people just like you, motivated people, so no negative people. We reinforce and help, and we're accountable, encourage each other. I show the videos Monday through Friday, and we interact, and we ask questions, and we post questions, and we do things together. And you also, when you do this, have access to the vault of videos that have already been produced in the group, and that's about 650 plus videos on multiple topics. So again, very, very simple to do. You can do it all on your phone because, again, it is in a private Facebook group. You want to learn more about it? Please visit the link below, metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.